Hey everyone, my name is Billy Flowers and welcome to my channel where I talk about velocity banking and how you can use this strategy to massively pay off debt. And before we jump in, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. Oh, you're not seeing this handsome face of mine. And I came across an interesting article and I wanted to share it with all of you. As you can see from the title, more customers than ever are only making minimum monthly payments on their credit cards while delinquencies are also rising. This ties directly into what I talk about when it comes to paying off debt. Paying only the minimum monthly payment not only could stretch your debt out for decades, but it also racks up massive interest charges. Let's go through this article together and break it all down. So, we're going to start off here. It says consumer stress has intensified. In fact, the share of active holders just making baseline payments on their credit cards jumped to a 12-year high. The level rose to 10.75% for the period, part of a continuing trend that began in 2021 and has accelerated as the average interest rates have soared and delinquencies also have accelerated. This increase also marked a series high for the data set that began in 2012. The share of balances more than 30 days past due rose to 3.52%, an increase from 3.21% for a year over year gain of more than 10%. It is also more than double the delinquency level of the pandemic era low of 1.57% hit in the second quarter of 2021. So we have over just in the mid 3% of people that are not even paying their minimum monthly payment. So that means that not only are they getting charged on the interest that the credit card has the balance, they're also getting hit with whatever that credit card company charges as a late fee. And then that's going to get added to the balance. And then they're going to get charged interest on not only the interest on the balance of the credit card, but also the interest of the late fee that's tacked on top of it. So you just have debt piling on debt on top of debt. This is exactly why velocity banking is so important. We don't want to be part of the 3% missing payments or even that 10% just paying the minimum. Instead, we want to attack that debt aggressively using this strategy. As you know, when we're paying down debt on these cards, we're attacking these cards with all of our income as much as we can. Now it says signs of strength. To be sure, there remain plentiful positive signs. Even with the rising delinquency rate, the pace is still well below the 6.8 peak during the 2008 2009 financial crisis. Wow, that's crazy. So we're up to 6.8% when the market crashed in 2008. People weren't making them their minimum, or they weren't even paying their 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 credit card bills at all. Now you might see these numbers and see like, well, 6.8%, that's not much. But you got to think these are millions and millions of cards out there. So these are millions of people that weren't paying their credit card payments every month. And on top of that, you have millions and millions of people, 10.75% of people, of those millions and millions of credit cards out there that were just paying the minimum monthly payment. Now, adjusted for inflation, consumer spending rose 2.9% on an annual basis in November of last year, and consumers are seen as a source of strength in the economy. The firm estimates that consumer spending will slow some in 2025, but will still grow a healthy 2.3% rate this year. However, if the trend of solid consumer spending holds, it will come against some daunting headwinds. Average credit card rates have climbed to 21.5%, or about 50% higher than 3 years ago. 50% higher. That puts the average rate even higher at 24.4%. Noting that the so-called low-cost cards that are given to borrowers with poor to no credit history has topped 30%. So this means that people that don't have good credit scores or they have no credit history, they're getting those credit cards, and those interest rates on those cards are over 30%. The average is 24.4 and you're getting charged 30%. That's ridiculous. And even when the Fed has lowered interest rates by a full percentage point last year, credit card costs remain elevated. So the interest on the credit cards really hasn't changed, even though the Fed has lower interest rates. And those rates are hitting much higher balances, with money owed on revolving credit swelling to $645 billion, up 52.5% since hitting a decade low of 423 billion in the second quarter of 2021. Renter noted that a increasing number of respondents, now at 40%, reported using credit cards for essentials. The survey also found an even higher level, more like 22%, saying they only are making minimum payments on these credit cards. 22%. The average credit card balance is at $10,563, and it would take 22 years and cost $18,000 in interest when just paying the minimum monthly payment. Yeah, you seen that right. For a $10,000 balance, it's going to take you 22 years and $18,000 in interest that you're going to be paying if you're just paying these minimum monthly payments. That is insane. And when I'm sitting here and I'm looking at this sounds like something, it sounds like a good scenario I could do. I want to see if, let's say if we have $1,000 in cash flow, I want to make a scenario with the same balance, and we're going to see if we can beat paying this credit card off in 22 years. We're going to see if we can beat that, and this $18,000 interest. And what was the average interest rate? Oh, was a 24.4% interest rate. So I want to make up a scenario, and I'm going to see if we can actually beat these numbers in the next video. So stay tuned for that one, because I want to show you how velocity banking works, and just to show you that we don't need to do this right here. This is insane. 22 years and cost $18,000 in interest. Uh-uh. This $18,000 right here, this is what keeps most people broke. This 18,000 right here. You want to keep this in your pocket. Just imagine what you can do with all that money, but you're giving it to these credit card companies. Mm-mm. With these higher prices, people are going to turn to credit cards more to use for necessities. You tack on higher interest rates, and then you have more difficulty getting by. If they're only making minimum monthly payment, you can go very quickly from getting by to drowning. The key is if you're only making the minimum monthly payment. And in velocity banking, we don't play that. So if we have multiple cards, yes, we're going to concentrate on one card, but we're not going to be paying the minimum monthly payment on that. But the other cards, in the meantime, yes, we're going to continue paying the minimum monthly payment on those cards until we pay one of the cards off. And as soon as we pay one of those cards off, what are we going to do? We're going to apply the same strategy, the same velocity banking strategy to the next card and pay that one off and then move on to the next one and the next one. We're going to repeat the same process over and over again until we pay all of our credit cards off. That's how this works. We're not going to be paying this interest. This is ridiculous right here. So I just wanted to show you all this article because I found it quite interesting, and I just wanted to show you how things are out there in the real world. I know a lot of you are watching this channel and you think that you're stuck and you're just trying to find a way out. And I just want to show you that you're not alone out there. There's a lot of people that are drowning in debt. Millions of people out there are drowning in debt, and they have no idea how to get out of it. But with velocity banking, I'm showing you these things on the videos. I'm breaking it down, and all you have to do is plug in your own numbers and give it a try for yourself, and just try something new and pay down debt. So, like I said, in the next video that I have coming out, I'm going to be tackling this scenario. I'm going to be making a scenario right here to see if we can beat these numbers right here, and it should be quite interesting with $1,000 of cash flow. And I want to thank all of you for watching, and let me know if you like me doing articles like these. Your feedback is important. So if you have any questions or concerns, don't hesitate to leave a comment in the section below. And I just want to thank all of you for your support. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. And like I always say, get that cash flow.